This year, the Orlowski fight didn't go my way, so that sucked. The Olenek fight was going good until it wasn't, so that sucked. So I'm hoping to turn around and just punch Chase until he was like, nah, we're good, and we call it a night.
You know, the last one against Olenek, I mean, guy's got 47 submission victories, whatever. I mean, are there lessons you take out of that, or you just go, that's a really talented guy when it comes to grappling?
Old man strength is real. He's just one of those grapplers that when he grabbed me, I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, can I have my leg back, please? It was just, I mean, yeah, I went in there on a week notice and I trained for all of his moves, but that dude's just one of those guys that just, you need a little bit more than a week's worth of training. Mentally, I felt fine. I actually enjoy short camps mentally, so here I am on another short notice fight.
And you're back on the main card. I mean, does that give you, I guess, like a little bump of confidence or whatever? Yeah, he had some setbacks, but they're still putting you guys up top.
Yeah, because me and Chase are the best looking guys on the card. Like, of course. Heavyweights always look better than flyweights. We all know this.
It's clearly the way I was breaking it down as well. What do you think about Chase as an opponent? I mean, he's had some ups and downs as well, but what do you think about him in the matchup?
He's just another dude that he just has a punchable face. Like, no disrespect. He just has that face that I look at. I'm just like, I want to punch it at least once, just to clear my conscience. But he's just a guy. I do think he's very durable. So I mean, he might take a few extra punches to the face, but I think this is gonna be a fun fight. Stylistically, him and I think are like a fun fight to watch. We're both strikers, and that's always fun. So I think for the fans, this is definitely something to watch. I have no ill will, no hatred, no real complaints towards Chase. So
I know, just growth is good and staying busy is good, but does this feel like kind of a must-win fight? Like you got to get the positive result this time?
Well, I feel like that for every fight, but I don't know. Like right now, I'm kind of going back into like my old goal sets that I had in my life. Like I never cared to be the GOAT or the #1 pound for pound. I don't give a fuck about those titles. You know, there's people that's all they strive for, and usually those people are fucking a little off. My goal, and granted, what I'm about to say sounds far stranger than what I just compared. My goal right now is to break someone's femur by kicking them. And I see you guys look at me like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? It's like he's talking about the champs being weird and this motherfucker. But no, it's one of those things where just knowing that you have the ability to snap someone's femur bone with your shin, I mean, that's scary. Makes me a little fucking odd, but it's scary for sure.
Have you practiced this in any way, or how do we get to that goal?
I'm a sadistic asshole that likes hurting people for fun, and I just like leg kicking people. So I'm like, I'm gonna put two together. I'm like, if I kick this bone hard enough, will it snap? We will find out.
And then on Saturday, this past weekend, they had the Fight Pass Invitational grapplers, left and right jiu-jitsu. How happy are you that your opponent will come forward and it will be a striking, and you don't have to worry about going to the mat as much?
Honestly, I don't mind going to the mat. It's just there was a few of the things leading up to my last grappling matches that I failed to do in camp and in my training. I'm not scared to go to the ground. Like, hell, I was hanging out with Olenek on the ground. Like, I'm not scared of it. It's just I need to be better at it. Like, if I'm like, oh no, the ground, it's scary. This is MMA, not fucking kickboxing and boxing. If I wanted to kickbox and boxing glories down in Netherlands, I was at boxing I could find fucking anywhere. I could be doing that shit if I just wanted to box and kickbox. What is it? This is MMA. I have to be comfortable on the ground, hanging on the fence, dancing in the octagon. I don't get why, I've only gone against high-level grapplers, and I'm okay doing that. So if me and Chase happen to go to the ground, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, it's the ground. Someone hold me. Not you, Chase, someone else.
What were the things that you mentioned that you didn't get to work on or brush up on? Did you get to do that for this camp?
Yeah, so all my career, every fucking coach, especially my grappling coaches, oh, you're so big, don't hurt the little people. It's like, don't use your strength, don't use your size, don't actually try. So just be technical. So now I found out that I'm a very technical guy that doesn't use my strength. But when I'm going against someone that's just as technical as me and using his strength, I find that I'm not using my strength and just relying on my technical abilities, I'm going to lose 10 out of 10 times because I'm not using all my tools to win the match. And I found, it obviously shows in like 3 or 4 of my last fights that like I was technically hanging with them, but they were using strength and they had the strength and cardio to do so because they didn't have coaches going, oh no, Jared, don't hurt the little person, because 80% of the people I've trained with are 200 and lighter, like they're small guys. And it wasn't until after the Olenek fight, I was rolling with a guy that was maybe $120. He looked at me and he goes, you're technical. It's beautiful that I'm knowing that I can roll with you and not get hurt. And then we look around and all the guys there are like 250, and he goes, but you see these dumb motherfuckers over here? It's like, all these assholes don't give a fuck about me and my size. And I'm like, I would like you to actually start using your strength. I would like you to actually, ever since I've started using my strength, I'm like, wow, there's a whole new level to this shit. And I'm hopefully like eventually going to catch up to, Spivak, Romanov, Tom Aspinall, like respectfully. But if I get an offer to fight them tomorrow, my ass would be like, yeah, sure. But respectfully, they have great grappling and they have the abilities and capabilities to utilize it. And I'm hoping to achieve that sooner than later.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to Saturday's performance and you using all of your strengths.
Thank you.
I want to bring it back to the femur for a second. Is there any fear that you could break your femur trying to break someone else's femur? Like, how do you?
Tis only a scratch. I mean, what are we in here for? Like, to play patty cake? Like, no, I plan on, every time I go in the fight, I'm like, one of 3 things are going to happen. I'm leaving with a broken bone, I'm leaving with stitches, or both. Win or lose. Like, hell, my Tafa fight, I left with, I think, like 10, 12 stitches. I've had 15, 16 stitches just training. I mean, it's kind of the part of the fun of fighting. I'm like, oh, look at this boo-boo. Like, touch it, squeeze it. Watch blood and pus come out. I'm a little deranged. I don't know why you guys hired me.
And you mentioned earlier that you prefer having short notice fights. Why is that?
Because I'm an overthinker. I overthink fucking everything. I'm like, if I do this, they're going to do that. But if I do that, they're going to do this. They're going to counter that with this. Oh my fucking God. And it's not that complex. Like, I assume everyone's playing chess when in all reality, they're playing checkers. And then I'm over here like, oh my God, what do I do on the next move? But when I have short nose fights, I don't get the chance to be like, oh my God, they're preparing for me in every which way. It's like in that one fight, I did that one thing that he's going to try to counter every time I do it now. The reality is most people don't change their styles even if they study you. They can study you for 10 months and they will not accommodate you. And me taking short nose fights alleviates all that thought process and overthinking. So that's, here I am on another short nose fight. I believe that my last 5 fight offers were all under a month notice that I've said yes to. Some of them fell through because the other person said no or they got injuries. And I like the short notice fights. And after after Saturday night's victory, I plan on taking another short notice fight in 3 weeks to about 6 months. I'll just be in the gym training. I'm kind of going back to that old style of just training every day, being ready for any last minute fights. I've had injuries coming into a few last minute fights. Not enough training, but I found that after the Olenek fight, I just went back to training and I was training hard. And so here I am, really prepared, even though I only had 2 weeks, but physically prepared for this fight.
Hey, Jared, did you drop the Mountain nickname?
Yes, for a few reasons.
Why? What are those reasons?
All right, so if you know who I am outside of this, I go by many fucking names. All right, one of my personal favorites from one of my old Muay Thai coaches is Big Fuck. Yeah, I know you guys would like that. Shout out to Frenchie. One of my other ones was Blue Eyes White Dragon because I'm a giant fucking nerd, and rest in peace to the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! He passed away July 6th. So, I mean, it was one of those ones where, like, my manager was like, you need a nickname. You need a nickname. I'm like, depends on who you ask. I mean, I've been known as Jerry Bear. If any of you fucking people start calling me that, I'm not promising I won't hit you. But, like, I got called a bear. Like that got taken different places all the time. And, like, I just had, I was called Drago for a minute because I was, like, the only tall white boy in the gym. So, like, I have plenty of names. Just depends on where you go and ask. And my manager was pushing the mountain. I'm like, you know what? Like, I had one person call me that in high school. It was cool and stuff. I'm like, fuck it. I'm done with it. And I'm like, I was kind of done with him too. Like, so I was like fucking cutting all resemblance of you in my career. I was like, bye. Now I got a great manager. I love him.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Done. We good? Cool.
Hey.